I remember on the fifth day, at just before tea, I was fielding at backward short leg and Steve flicked Harbhajan and I dropped him. It straight in and straight out. So he turned around and said, I think with this you've lost the test and your captaincy. That's how competitive he was. So I didn't say much to him because I just dropped him and I thought he'll save this test match. The first ball after tea he came, he flicked again and he caught at backward short leg. The next ball after tea, and we went on to win the test match, and it just transformed Indian cricket because it was a miracle. And that 2001 trip against Australia when we beat them after being 1-0 down in the first test in Mumbai and down in the first 3 days of the test match in Kolkata, which we went on to win on day 5. Just completely changed the team. I remember on day 3 of the test match in Kolkata, I was going back to the hotel and I was sitting with John Wright, my coach. He's a very good friend of mine, still a very good friend. I said, John, I think both our times are up. We are down. Australia got 400. We are 190 all out in the first innings. We are following on. So let's try and do the best what we can in the next 2 test matches, because I don't see you and me together again after this series, because either one will go. But things changed. VVS Lakshman and Rahul Dravid was unbelievable. On the end of the day 4 at Eden Gardens, they were literally on drips. Because they batted for about 8 hours and India went on to get 600. I remember on the 5th day, at just before tea, I was fielding at backward short leg and Steve flicked Harbhajan and I dropped him. It straight in and straight out. So he turned around and said, I think with this you've lost the test and your captaincy. That's how competitive he was. So I didn't say much to him because I just dropped him and I thought he'll save this test match. The first ball after tea he came, he flicked again and he caught at backward short leg. The next ball after tea, and we went on to win the test match, and it just transformed Indian cricket because it was a miracle. I still remember the day when I got 100 at Lord's in 1996. I went into a press conference, and the first thing the media asked me that, so you've proved people wrong. And the answer I said, and I really meant what I said that evening, I said, I didn't prove anybody wrong. I just proved to myself that I was good enough at this level. When I first became captain in the year 1999, when Sachin gave up, nobody from Bengal ever captained before that. So as they appointed me captain, I was very happy, which just goes without saying. To be fortunate enough to lead your country is probably the best feeling for any athlete or any sportsman. But at the same time, I had a huge complex or a thought process in me saying that, you're the only captain from a part of the country where not many people led the country. So there was a tremendous desire in me to gain respect among the people I played. It should not be a feeling that, after a couple of months, after a year, they said, "Yaar, ye to ban gaya tha, lekin isme dam nahi tha." So that feeling was deep inside me, and I wanted to stand up among all the champions I led. My first team meeting, I walked in Cochin, and my wife had come because it was my first match as captain. And I walked into a room which had Sachin, which had Azhar, which had Anil Kumble, which had Rahul Dravid, all who could have been captains on their own merit. That's how good they were. There were 3 former captains, whether it was Sachin and Azhar. So to get into that room and to ask those players to play the way you want is never easy. The first week, the first month, the first tour was never easy. When you sit and tell the best in the world that this is how I want you to play. So you had to get your standards up to that level, to go and tell them the next morning that this is what I demand of you, your performance.